Hi, today we're going to talk about I. I equals square root of -1, which means that I squared equals -1 and I to the third power equals negative square root of -1. Or you can also write this as -I. And this means that I to the fourth will be -1 times -1 is 1. So, if we are given a problem to simplify I to the 63rd power, we can look at this number and look at the exponent in terms of how many groupings of 4 there are and what will be the remainder when we group it into as many groups of 4 as possible. So what I'm saying is I to the 63rd power equals I to the 15 times 4th power plus 3. So we know that this means we have I to the 15 times 4 times I to the third, which we know from our exponent laws that this is I to the fourth to the 15th power times I to the third. And we know that I to the fourth is 1. So 1 to the 15th is just 1 times I to the third. So we know that this equals -I. If we want to divide by a complex number, we have to get this radical I out of the denominator. So for this, we multiply both the top and bottom of the fraction by something called the conjugate. And to form the conjugate, if we have A plus BI in the denominator, we want to multiply by A minus BI, because doing so will create a difference of perfect squares, which will cancel out the middle term, which in this case will be the radical. So we'll be left with no radicals in the denominator. We don't really care about the numerator. So, in this case, since we have 4 plus 2i in the denominator, we put 4 minus 2i. Since this is positive, this is negative. So 4 minus 2i. And so if we simplify this, we get 12 minus 6i minus 4i plus 2i squared divided by 16 minus 8i plus 8i minus 4i squared. So if we simplify this, we know that I squared is -1. So that instead of plus 2i squared, we have minus 2. And so this will be plus 4. So 12 minus 2 is 10. -6i minus 4i is -10i divided by 20, and then these cancel out. So if we simplify this even further, we have 1 minus I divided by 2, or 1/2 minus 1/2 times I. And that is our resulting complex number. When we go to solve an equation like this one, we can see from its graph that it opens up, and that if this is 48, we know it will go like this. So we know that it has no solutions for 0. So we can go to the complex numbers to find the zeros. So first we see that each term here is divisible by 3. So if we divide by 3, we get x squared plus 16 equals 0. So we have x squared equals -16. So if we take the square root of both sides, and we remember our plus and minus, we've got x equals positive or negative square root of 16. And this is a problem because no number squared can equal a negative number. So we can break this radical into square root of 16 times square root of negative 1, which we know that this is I, and we know that this is 4. So our answer is x equals plus or minus 4i. And if we plug this back in, we get 3x squared, and x squared is negative 16, plus 48 equals 0. And we see that we're right.